Sundown by Michael Franco. I assume that's how you pronounce his first name. It could be Mitchell. I don't know. I don't want to say it's a thinking man's movie, but it's pretty close. This was a weird movie. Going into it, I was told you're not gonna see how the ending pans out. And granted, the movie does throw you for a loop. There are a lot of instances of just like, what the fuck just happened? How did that happen? Why is it going this way? Moments. So Neil and Alice are brother and sister, and they're rich, and they're in like Mexico on vacation, and they're just playing around with with his niece and nephew, Alice's kids, Neil's niece and nephew, and suddenly Alice gets a phone call about their mother, being hospitalized. And it's a rush to get to the airport so they can leave and go back to London. And on the way to the airport, they find out the mother's dead. And it's sad. But when they get to the airport, Neil doesn't have his passport. And so they're forced to leave without him. The movie then proceeds to present Neil. He had his passport the whole time. He wanted to stay in Mexico the whole time. You don't know why yet. And he's just hanging around in this uh you know lower class hotel for like 2 weeks, and he meets a girl and blah blah blah, stuff happens. He's just enjoying himself in the most basic way. And as the film about the halfway mark, not the halfway mark, by the beginning of the second act, like the second third of the movie, Alice comes. It's 2 weeks later, and she's just like, "What the fuck did you do?" And Neil is so apathetic to the whole thing. I had no idea what was going on. I legit was just like, "What is this guy's problem?" He doesn't seem to be remorseful in the slightest the entire time. And he has the most frustrating exchange with Alice where she's asking him, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he's just like, and it's just, it's it's really insane. Thinking, if this was any other movie, Neil wouldn't be a character. He'd just be like the asshole, like the antagonistic asshole when you find out he's got like a hidden agenda or something. And they call him out on that. Like, do you want the money? Do you want money from they apparently, I guess they own like some farms in London, and they're like meat entrepreneurs. I'm not sure. So she's claiming like, do you just need money, or like, are you desperate for money because now like we're both owning this business now or something? And he's just like, no. And he offers to sign away his rights to the company on just with a steady income of 10,000 euros or whatever for the rest of his life. And after that, the movie goes not bad, just downhill, like not in a bad way. Just, it's weird. It's like a tragedy. It's his sister on the way back to the airport after getting the paper signed is killed by this like tiny militia, not a militia, just like these three punks who happened to be three criminals who were actually um like one was a taxi driver for Neil, and I think the other two were like owners or at least workers at a beachside bar or something, and they just like killed his sister out of seemingly nowhere, and he gets arrested, Neil, because they accused him of being in cahoots with the murderers, and the movie just keeps putting Neil in these absolutely apathetic situations. The embassy wants to know why he stayed in Mexico, why he didn't, like, he had his passport. He tells everyone that he has his passport, but he just didn't bother to leave. And he's like, he doesn't give an answer. He's the most frustrating man. But I am just absolutely mystified by what is going on through his head. And Tim Roth does this so well. It's ridiculous. Like, I feel like I should hate this guy with an iron fist, but I just cannot be interested. And so the movie progresses. He gets out of jail eventually because, of course, he wasn't in cahoots with these guys. They just, happened to be. He just happened to be taking uh, work from the wrong people, services from the wrong people, and he goes back to his hotel where he goes back to his little girlfriend that he met at the while he's been staying at this second hotel, and he collapses at some point, and you find out he's got cancer. Not not that he has cancer, he's had cancer. And he actually has a new form of cancer that's like fucking up with his frontal lobe. And that's what caused him to collapse. And then before you know it, the movie's over. He is with his girlfriend in the hospital bed. As she's sleeping, he walks away. And then, like, it's just, he walks away. And then it cuts to an empty chair at a hotel. Like an empty, like, folding chair. And the movie just ends. Like, it was honestly amazing. I saw the black screen, the black cut, and I was like, it's about to show the title. The movie's over. And I was right. So, yeah, I don't know if I should feel mad because as the movie ended, one of the people, audience members, was talking about how this wasn't the worst movie he's ever seen, but that was pretty bad. And aside from me being apathetic to the point of not wanting to conversate with anyone, honestly, I'm just an antisocial asshole. What can I say? I couldn't help but feel like, should I resent that? Should I resent him thinking this movie was bad? Because I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was interesting, but I just couldn't help but think, yeah, this movie was basically about a guy mourning his own death, his like imminent death. And he probably only had a couple weeks. And he didn't want to spend the last of his like months or weeks, you know, mourning the death of his mother or anyone for that matter. And I felt that. Like, you don't know that, and you just feel like this guy's empathetic. Like, wouldn't it make more sense if we just know from the beginning, like, he's just like, if it's like we're the only ones that know he's got cancer and it's just everyone else that doesn't know? And wouldn't that make it more sad if we just know why he's just denying everybody? But I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It might just be the performance. But I really felt this movie. You're just so sick that you're so empathetic to everyone around you that you don't even want to give an answer to the most insane things you do or don't do. It's just like like I mean, he's basically acting like a child. But when you're as rich as him, I mean, this guy is getting $10,000 or euros. I don't know, every month or week, whatever it is. I'm assuming it's a lot of money. This guy can just do whatever the fuck he wants, and he wants to spend the rest of his life in this beach, and I can't help but respect that. I actually thought this movie was just like this guy's got like not I don't know what the right phrase is, so forgive me for calling out the wrong mental issue, but I thought he just had like some sort of um fucking hell, not Asperger's. Now I'm thinking about it, but mental issue where he's cannot express emotion, and he was just acting as a base animal who just wanted to eat, sleep, and fuck. And that's what he was doing the whole movie. And I was like, I can't see anything wrong with that. If I love to detach myself from my human needs and just go to an animal, just instinctively doing what I need to do to survive, or what just he doesn't so much as look at his phone that often because he just doesn't want to talk to his sister or anything. This is just a very, I don't want to say admirable, but a very visceral movie, and I really enjoyed it for that. The one another thing that I kind of liked about it was this pig metaphor. There was three scenes if you count the beach, but it was right after the first scene. There was two scenes of a pig, just interspaced, interplaced with the character with Neil. Like first time it was in the jail cell where he's just shot. Well, not the jail cell, but the jail shower, the prison shower, and the dog is. I mean, the pig is just there and it's just like fucking around, like cleaning, I guess. And he's just looking at it the whole time. And then the second time was this. He was walking into his girlfriend's house, and there's just this pile, this like sludge of pig remains. Like it's just all the different. It's just like complete. An eviscerated pig, and sh the girlfriend doesn't even notice it because I guess it's not even there. And I guess he sees the pig. And I think what the movie was trying to say was he sees himself as a pig, and that really adds to the whole cancer and inevitable death metaphor going on. Like he his days are numbered, just like a pig. Like a pig's day is always numbered. Pig is eventually going to die. Plus he owns a meat company. So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, if you're someone who's doesn't have a lot of patience for like nothing happening, because this movie's a lot of nothing happening and the same stuff happening over and over again. It was like he goes through the same motions of the same kind of day like five times up until Alice finally rears her head again. And at that point, the movie, it's funny because the movie still has scenes of like the same old waking up, going to the beach, hanging out at night and fucking his girlfriend, rinse and repeat, with some, different thing, different events happening at different days. If you're the kind of person who is impatient for a movie about nothing happening, at least on the screen, there's a lot happening in the background and like the subtle detail, but in the sense of what's on screen, if you can't stand nothing happening, then you're probably not going to like this movie like that one guy did as in the audience. But I encourage you to give this movie a shot. Give it a shot and just be patient. I mean, at this point I've already spoiled it for you. If you didn't know about the cancer, this movie would have probably annoyed you. Now that you know that it's about cancer, maybe that's a different experience. So, yeah, I'd say go watch this movie if you're patient. If you're not patient, don't watch it because it's just going to annoy you. So, yeah, for this movie, I'm going to put it right below. You know what? I'm going to put it right above Scream, or right under Parallel Mothers. I like this movie that much. Originally, I was going to put it below Scream, but I think I can stand behind this movie a little more than Scream. So go watch this movie. It was good. Thank you for watching.